talking about gap elimination quite a bit, and if I recall, do you remember the original gap when this was done? What that was? 2.9 or 2.7 billion, something along those lines.
2.78 billion.
Where does it stand now, prior to passage of the budget?
Oh, probably it would be 16. 1.6. 1.6, and we're taking the 6 out, so we'll have 1 billion left.
At the end of this?
Yeah.
Yeah, around 1 billion still to go.
Yes, after we pass this.
So you recall last year we talked about sending out $350 checks magically just weeks before the November elections?
Yes.
And that money was appropriated last year.
Yes.
Has not been spent, right?
No. That's an appropriation for this year.
Right. Okay. So, Danny, let me correct that. Not an appropriation, but just an ability to spend the money, right?
Yeah, it comes out of this budget.
Right. And that
the coming budget.
And that totals 400, how much? What do you think? 450 mil, 420 mil, 410?
It was around 400.
About 400, 410, something like that?
Yes.
So, since we have the ability to spend that money, it's not appropriated, so it's just sitting there.
It is appropriated. We're doing it, yes.
Well, it wasn't an appropriation. It's just the ability to spend money. There was no appropriation, right?
Correct.
So it's the ability to spend the funds.
Yes.
So that hasn't been exercised yet. There's still 450 million.
Yeah.
Couldn't we have added that 450 to the 600 and close that gap elimination by $1 billion in this budget cycle?
That's doable, but we live in a world of 3 people. That house, this house, and the second floor. And
well, 4 now, sometime. 4. Right?
I'm not even going near that one. It's too easy. All 3 have to agree. If you go in the lunchroom, you and I can talk, and I'll tell you the things here that I'm choking on, but I'm voting yes. So you would understand that it's a good idea, but some things won't fly. And if you don't, you won't have a budget. So there are things, if you look at what we did in the one house and what we're doing now, you'll see a lot of things that we've changed our minds on. So you have to be realistic in what you can do when we do these things, and remembering that no matter what you say, the executive has the power over us. And
well, not if we don't.
Again, I'll explain it to you privately why.
I think that's a misnomer that the executive has the power over us. If we don't pass his budget, I think we exercise the power.
I'm glad you didn't run for re-election.
There's supposed to be co-equal branches of government, as I understand the Constitution.
Yeah, right. Co means 2.
Yeah.
There's a third one out there.
Denny, well, co could be, the house. It's supposed to be co-equal. But anyway, listen. How about this? Those $350 checks, once again, magically going out just weeks before November elections, that cost somewhere over $1 million to print and put in envelopes. We're not even doing that electronically because, to quote one of the leaders from the other house, they want to get the credit for sending the check in the mail. But those $350 checks are going to which segment of taxpayers?
People under $200,000. 300? Under $300,000.
Under $300,000.
So a few of us is eligible.
Well, but let's say somebody was 70 years old, more than likely no children in the house. Would they be getting this $350?
If they are making less than $300,000, oh, no, you have to have a child, sorry.
You have to have a child.
I have that, yes.
Yes, Denny, you do. God bless you. Yes, you do. What age child? Not your child, Denny, but what age
18.
does your child have to be?
17.
17 down to what age?
Child.
Yeah, but not newborn.
Newborn. 4. School.
4. So in effect, basically school-age children.
Yes.
So households with school-age children are the only ones getting this $350 check.
Yes.
They're the same group, overwhelmingly, that's screaming about the gap elimination adjustment, along with all of the superintendents and teachers out there. So that, I think, just needed to be said, Denny, that I understand that what you're saying, that we could talk off camera, as it were, and I know the reality here, and I think it's politics, but, well, Denny, thank you. I don't want to put you on the spot. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, on the bill. Thank
On
you,
the
Denny.
bill, Mr. McLaughlin.
Denny, thank you. I just think it needed to be pointed out that not just this House, both houses and the governor have agreed to send out $350 checks in just a shameless ploy right before the elections in November to households that only have school-age children, while our schools continue to suffer and endure what was a 2-point-something billion gap, and now will be still over $1 billion. We really could have done something positive here rather than just shamelessly sending out money saying, vote for us, look what we did, which is just giving them back their own money anyway, not helping seniors, not helping a lot of other folks that could use help. It's only going to those that have school-age children. That's $410 million that would have gone a long way to closing that gap elimination adjustment and helping our schools. So thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just wanted to point that out.